they want in their best intention that everyone heals and everyone solves something. But I would say, do not tell them to come. If someone is sleeping, walk in your toes. Whatever you want others to change, change it in yourself first. Whatever advice you want to give to others, take it for yourself. And when someone is sleeping, it's better to walk in your toes and not awake them, because everyone has their own moment, their own evolution. Everyone is serving to their own system. So I embrace resistances and I respect resistances. Resistances are not properly from the person itself, but it also comes from so much pain and burden from that family system, and that needs to be respected.
2, 1, 0.
Hi, and welcome to Stellar Life Podcast. This is your host, Orion. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to the show. Today's conversation was very interesting for me because I heard about family constellation therapy, but I've never understood it. And I think after this conversation, I just understood it a little bit more on a deeper level. And I'm definitely going to try to experience it for myself because it seems like the benefit of doing this therapy is very, very, it goes deep. It's something, it's, it's in the realm of energy. So it's the type of benefits that you get from deep work like hypnotherapy or psychedelics or something like that that really go deep into more than just talk therapy, into your being, your energetic being, your energetic connection and entanglements with your family members. So I have with me this extraordinary facilitator. Her name is Amerly Centeno. She also teaches other people how to facilitate family constellations. She's a family constellations master, BNE master, systemic and relationship facilitator. And family constellation is a therapeutical approach developed by Brett Hellinger, focuses on revealing the hidden dynamics within a family system that influence present behavior. In today's interview, we talked about how do entanglements in your family system manifest in your life, how you can, by doing it, affect your lineage and also positively affect your loved ones. Who is family constellation for? Who is it not for? And way more. And now, without further ado, on to the show. Hi, Amerly, and welcome to Stellar Life Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I am looking forward to talking to you and learn a lot about what you're teaching today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, and for your community also to receive this philosophy, and family constellation, it's getting popular. Not only because it's shown now on Netflix in this show. I don't know if you have seen it, Another Self.
No.
Yes,
Oh, no.
it's a show on Netflix that actually 2 days ago released the second season. But thanks to that, it has reached a big audience and it's becoming very, very popular. So I am so glad for that because it's embraced a beautiful life philosophy behind it. So I'm here to serve you and serve your community to delve deeper into it. Of course, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Before we dive into the family constellation thing, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your passion, and how did you start even teaching this?
Well, it's a beautiful question because I always said that family constellation, I didn't reach it, it reached to me. I started, I'm 48, so I started
No
my
way.
path.
You look like a
Yes.
kid. What?
Yes, I am 48. Thank you so much. But yeah, I started this path towards self discovery, self exploration through my career. In college, I am a social scientist with different masters in business, in coaching. So I started this path in executive coaching, and I discovered how, through meaningful relationships, through the intimacy, um, things work in a company that requires certain order, acknowledgement. One day, one of the co-workers I used to work with um, told me about this family constellation thing that she was doing to integrate and embrace the practice. And at the beginning, it didn't even call my attention. I was very young. I was 23, 24 years old when I graduated from college. And I started this executive coaching, training and development path. And one day I remember I was sitting with a friend in a restaurant, and she was having such a hard time with her father passing, and she felt burden and many responsibilities and so much on her. And that restaurant was noisy, and it was funny because at some point I took a napkin and I caught it, and I asked her, this is your father and this is you. Tell him that he is dead but you're alive. Tell him that you will be happy to honor him, and tell him that it's not your place to take everything on you. I don't know where that came from, but I knew later on that I did my first constellation without even knowing what it was, family constellation. That was a constellation. A few weeks after she was sobbing in that moment, she said it, and a few weeks later she told me, I don't know what happened that night, but I felt relief. I felt that something shift on me. And when I told my coworker this is what I happened, and I was really, impressed about what happened with that friend of mine, she told me, "Oh, you did a family constellation. You constellated her." And then I started, getting more in this philosophy.
Well, what does it mean you constellated her? What did you
We're
do?
gonna go there. Constellate means to constellate someone. To means to restore the balance, the giving and taking, the belonging, the full force, your very own rightful place, the only place that truly belongs to you and is your only rightful place to be in life. The,
Mm.
the idea with family constellation, it's a method. We're going to talk about that. How is it? But the idea with family constellation, more than one session, 1 to 3 hours workshop that can unfold some dynamics and set you free from family patterns or lineage. More than that, I would like to say that it's a philosophy of life that
Okay.
embrace something that I call forces of love. The forces
Mm.
of love are these forces that are constantly moving or driving our life, inviting us to succeed, to be in life, to be in love, to be in the adult, to be in order. But what happened? That is, no one is separated from their family system. It doesn't matter
Mm.
if you like it or you don't like it. We are a part of that story. In that journey towards self love, self discovery, we need to acknowledge ourselves as part of a whole, as part of a system. We belong to many systems, to many fields. So in family constellation, what it does is a method, a philosophy, a therapy that help us to uncover and unfold those dynamics that impact your present life. What we call entanglements, blind love, loyalties that we hold unconsciously at a soul level towards our past, our ancestors, are significant adults. So mm, it was discovered, not discovered, integrated is the right word, by Bert Hellinger, a psychotherapist, German, that integrated many different therapy approaches. And in the 70s, 80s, he even lived with tribes in Africa, the Zulu tribes, and he observed how they reconcile among themselves, and they reconcile their life and the way they honor their ancestors. So the idea is that he said, love is what drives all systems, but love is not enough. It requires
Mm-hmm.
certain order. So he started restoring these orders of love, what he called the orders of love, into the systems
Mm-hmm.
we belong. Which one are these orders of love? Belonging, hierarchy, balance between giving and taking, what we call compensation. So everything that happened before set in motion certain energies that, when they are not closed properly, or when there was things that were unclosed, overlooked, unseen, unaccomplished, broken, the energy doesn't die there. Energy never dies. So it seeks compensation later on. And this is a study by a science called epigenetics, about
Mm-hmm.
what Rupert Sheldrake discovered, the way that living organisms organize. So the energy never gets lost. It seeks compensation through generations.
So epigenetically, we are carrying our ancestors' traumas, hurts, good things, bad things. We carry it all with us.
And only great potential, also great potential. Mhm.
And something about this family constellation system is releasing that energy.
Exactly. It's a way, I would say, it's a way to even renegotiate our trauma responses that are so entangled and intricated in ourselves, in our information. So we are information, we are
Mm.
emotions, and we are energy. And what happened, and it's difficult. Any constellator that you ask, what is family constellation? They would say to you, it's so difficult to explain. It's something that individuals need to experience. Those souls that resonate with this philosophy of order and love and reconciliation, when you attend to a workshop, whether a workshop or an individual session, you feel how everything is connected, how all the stories are entangled among all the participants, and we set in a field certain energies using the body as expression, because the body is what contains the soul. So the soul resides in the body. So we say that we learn through the body. So using body, sensations, emotions, we can all connect in the field of energy that unfold these dynamics, hidden dynamics, and entanglements.
Hmm.
That's the idea of a family constellation therapy. And beyond that, there's also a philosophy that invites you to live in these forces of love. So when we live in these forces of love, we can practice that rendition, ascendment, take things the way it were, as
Hmm.
painful or as hard or as they were. We take life from our parents, and that gives us the force to be in our rightful place and go to life as adults, taking
Hmm.
responsibility and seeing yourself reflected in all the interactions you might experience in your life, knowing that every single interaction you participate in, there's a metaphor of something that is probably not solved in your family of origin. So that's the idea with family constellations. Is energy, is emotions, is body. We work with the somatic, with the body, mostly in silence, attending the sensations in the body, the emotions, and there's dynamics there that happen through quantum entanglement, through the information that our cells and our body holds. And it's so beautiful to see how it can be reconciled, restoring these forces of love. And everything moves towards more when the client is ready to see and to receive in their heart whatever was painful in the past, whatever couldn't happen or couldn't be achieved or closed properly. So it's about creating a new unity of love.
So I've never seen or experienced family constellation for myself, but I understood that in a session there are some people in the room and they represent the mother, the father, I don't know exactly, and then you reassemble them in a different order. And what I understood was that the reason for that was that sometimes we take on our mom's issues and we become the parent to our parents. And then when you actually physically uh, organize people in order with intention, it changes the dynamic in the family structure. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, mainly. And nowadays, because family constellations evolves as we speak, I keep myself even in constant training. Um, every 10 hours I work, I could say I train myself 10 hours. Um, Nowadays, the facilitator interferes less. So the facilitator is not in charge to reorder or to decide or to put anyone there. Nothing. The field itself, because these forces are constantly acting in this field when we set the intention for it. These
Mm-hmm.
forces of belonging, hierarchy, balance between giving and taking, yes to like, they're constantly acting. And these forces are the ones that drives the resolution towards whatever topic it's presented by a client. So let's say in a group session, there's someone that comes to seek their own constellation. It brings a topic. I ask them to be precise, to expose their topic in 2 or 3 sentences. Whatever can be constellated means observed in the field. A symptom, disease, relationships, money, projects, work, whatever you feel in your life that is not working, is any stagnation, lack of energy, or emotions that are overwhelming can be constellated. So the client brings its topic and we set representatives for those energies. Usually a representative for the client and a representative for the topic, let's say, whatever it is the topic. These representatives, they're going to start moving around the field. They're going to start having sensations, emotions, gaze, very deep. Because in us,
Mm-hmm.
there's, let's say, 2 layers, the layer of the most emotional part of ourselves that where we move daily through our there's more drama or secondary emotions or stress. The layer we access in a family constellation setup, that layer is deeper, is down in the soul. So right there, we can access all of us through the heart, through being in the center. When you're center there, you can connect with that information. I call it biological inner information that your body holds. And when you pay attention to it, you're going to start acknowledging certain emotions, sensations, and even movement, different type of movement that they don't come from your mind. Of course, I prepare the group for that, to open their body, to receive, to serve. And through the body, they're going to start acknowledging or connecting with certain dynamics. It's right there when the disorder, or what it was not possible, because the field takes you to a movement of the past. The field takes you to somewhere in the past that presents, and it's necessary. And it's necessary for the client.
So it's kind of like hypnosis, where people get into a trance state, and
It, I could say yes. Bert Hellinger uh, study, and myself, I studied with Erickson, the hypnosis as well, NLP and hypnosis, but they're not truly in trance. They're in a center. So I could even ask
mm,
you right now, if we breathe through the heart and we center in our body and we scan each part of our body to stand up and represent different energies. And if we're truly in the center, we are going to let ourselves get guided like the waves in the ocean, let's say. What I want to say is that it's not in the drama. There's some therapies that are based in psychodrama, which are
I love drama.
very valuable, beautiful, no, very valuable therapies. I even train myself in psychotherapy theater, very valuable for many clients to release
Wow.
suppressed emotions. That is not a constellation. That is not a constellation. Constellation is so far from that drama, which is the superficial layer of ourself. So constellation happen in the soul, deeper, down deeper into another layer that we can only access through our body. So
Mm,
we attend that inner biological guidance that we all have, believe it or not, know it or not, trust it or not, we all have it. That's what I do in my training programs. With I train facilitators to become constellator, and it's nothing even about intuition. It's listening to that guidance, to that inner biological energy that it's guiding you. When we stop
wow.
and we listen to it, we don't need anything else. It holds our yes, our no, our expansion, contraction. So we let ourselves get guided by that. It's so powerful. That is what happened into a group workshop.
Okay. So people go into different movements that bring emotions and memories into the surface?
Yes, not even memories, sensations, emotions. Um, let's say itchiness, pressure in the head, sweating,
Mm, mm,
palpitations, all these things. Or the gaze, something that we observe a lot in constellation is the gaze of the representatives. The gaze are these windows to the soul, and they let us know what is missing, what is excluded. Remember, the belonging is one of the things that move this field. So the soul seeks the belonging, to restore the belonging of those excluded. Um, when we can give a place in our heart to those that were excluded, not only people, but emotions, events, secrets, all those energies that impact our life, and we can say, yes, it was like that, and restore that belonging. Only after you can choose a different destiny, away from repetition, away from compensation. So the idea is to know that we live thanks to thousands of previous generations. And we are one more link into the service of more life, more love, more respect, more belonging.
So you think we carry things from not even from this lifetime, from past lifetimes that can affect our constellation right now and our family dynamics right now?
Yeah, I don't truly work with past lives in the sense that whatever it was not resolved in a past life, you choose a family, is said by many researchers. I'm not a medium or anything, but it's said in all the research that you choose the family that you have to come with to overcome and evolve and to do another quantum leap. So you choose the family, and we work with this life. with these but ancestors, 5 generations, seven
Hmm.
generations. Again, that energy is never lost. That energy it's always there. And the little ones, the new ones in the system, they serve the elder ones. So what do the ancestors need from us? What is that you truly need? To even remember and appreciate it. The DNA is directly transmitted through the descendants. Um, they also give us amazing potential. Our careers are even compensation that we carry from our ancestors, from the deep need to overcome
What advice would you give to someone who is skeptic about this practice or afraid of it?
that. Don't try it because it doesn't work. If you're Yes, I would say I wouldn't. I relinquish myself from giving advice. Actually, many people come to me. My cousin told me I have to do this, and my wife sent me. I don't know what I'm doing here, but my wife sent me all those,
Mm.
and it's beautiful because so many people leave my workshops with so much enlightenment and force and strength, and things happen 2 weeks after. So of course they want in their best intention that everyone heals and everyone solves something, but I would say do not tell them to come. If someone is sleeping, walk in your toes. Whatever you want others to change it in yourself first.
Mm.
Whatever advice you want to give to others, take it for yourself. And when someone is sleeping, it's better to walk in your toes and not awake them, because everyone has their own moment, their own evolution. Everyone is serving to their own system. So I embrace resistances and I respect resistances. Resistances are not properly from the person itself, but it also comes from so much pain and burden from that family system, and that needs to be respected. So if people is accepted, I will say, you are in the perfect moment of your evolution, and many people they need another type of therapy. Some others resonate beautiful, some come skeptical and they leave totally fascinated, and but they have their own time. So listen to their own heart, what it resonates.
Yeah. So it needs to be some kind of an inner knowing to know, like, oh, I feel pulled toward that and not.
It works for people that is ready to respect. It works for people that is ready to respect their ancestors, to taking their heart where happen, that leaves taking responsibility. It works for people that is ready to open their heart to the past. For those that are still in rejection, resistance, it's not recommended.
Right. So what are the benefits and is there any side effects to doing family constellation?
Side effects? Not that I know, unless you get into this journey of healing, and sometimes it hurts. When you start walking this path of self discovery, sometimes at the beginning it's not all solved and perfect and precious. It accelerates your evolution. So some crises may arise, and I trust those crises are serving you, serving a bigger purpose, serving your evolution. Side effects known because you do it from the respect with a minimum intervention, at least in my side, in my ethical, surrendering to what it is, surrendering to the destiny of your clients, surrendering to up to what they can take, and with respect. So there's no side effects in that term. Um, and what was the other question?
What are the benefits? But I want to ask another question. Uh, so let's say you change a family dynamic energetically, right? There are some attachments that are now becoming unattached. Can that not like get the other party into a loop? Like even if you feel great, maybe the that family member that was attached to you is now really in suffering because they cannot handle not being attached to you.
No, no. The idea is that it takes one descendant to look at the past and say, yes, you all belong. I'll give you a place in my heart. So in the contrary, you're not forcing anyone's destiny. You are putting yourself in your place of force, reclaiming your very own place of force, the only one that belongs to you. When you reclaim that place, the energy works itself to settle everything else. Here, you don't have to come with your family. You don't have to tell your family that you did this. You're not going to force anyone to do anything. It's not about that. It's about being there, opening your heart, surrender to what the field offers you, work in these forces of love, in this harmony. Yes, I see you. I take you, Mother, as you are. I allow myself to receive life from you in its fullest, and I'll do something great with it. That doesn't mean the dynamic is going to disappear. That is important. Probably the information is there. The idea is that you're conscious about it. And when you place yourself and you put yourself into that adult state, you can do differently. You can decide differently. You can relinquish to those childhood promises that you made unconsciously, but they're going to be presented to you. Those hidden loyalties that you say, I as you, I for you, I in your place. And you're going to truly relinquish that. So the field needs to hear something and you say it, and that energetically shifts something within. It's very trendy in therapy lately that all the therapies around, they say, release, let go, release, let go. Here we do the opposite. Here we do the opposite.
So you don't let go, you basically embrace them while claiming your own place and releasing attachments that should not be there. That sounds good.
Or should be
Um,
there.
yeah. What are some miracles? So you've been doing it for a long time. What are some miracles that you saw in your practice that were even like shocking to you?
Many. Every day I received a message. Autisms, children. I'm passionate about fertility and passionate about working with children's difficulties. Um, I've seen so many, as you say, miracles. Why miracles? Because the outcome, the experience was totally 100% systemic. And when it's systemic, sometimes it's destiny. So this mother came to me telling me that her boy, 17 years old, want to change and transition to become a woman. And I told her, there's two possibilities. That is destiny or that is systemic. If it's destiny, we need to work with you to ascend to that destiny and make peace with it and take your son exactly as it is. If it's systemic, something is going to be shown in the field that is going to give us the possibility to reconcile, to restore the belonging, the pain, the burden of the men that are causing the compensation.
Was it only the mom who did the constellation, or was the kid with her?
The mothers, beautiful, yeah, no, no. The kids are not allowed to have a constellation. They don't have the resources to decide or change their destiny. This is a beautiful question. But the mom can request by hierarchy a constellation to help each child to overcome difficulties, disease, depression, addiction, anxiety. Of course, if a mom comes to me, I don't like the wife of my son. Nothing that interfere with their decisions or their destiny, but to help them overcome difficulties. I have so many moms that comes to me, children with addiction, depression, autism, spectrums, different spectrums, aggressive behavior. So we'll see that they come from they were conceived through surrogate or IVF. So that has a lot of systemic implications. What we do in a constellation is to observe the whole, the system, um, present, like let's say biographical trauma, and also ancestral trauma. So what happened with all these men's abuse? They were, you know, and that happened in the constellation. 2 months after, the mom told me that the boy reversed his decision, and I was in love with a girl, and I was dating a girl. So that happened. I was, and as
What?
well as,
That's big, big extreme.
for me, that was a big one.
He went from not transitioning to actually loving a girl. That's amazing.
That's amazing. And
Wow.
again, it was totally systemic. When we opened that constellation, we saw, and the mom, her heart open, her willingness. It was a beautiful, and again, it's when I tell you that someone is ready to overcome, to harmonize, to open the heart.
Do you think that you when you do that, yeah, when you do that, you actually shift into a new timeline for the whole family?
Well, actually, what happened in the field, uh, the field is that space, let's say inside the circle, that is timeless, spaceless. There's no past, there's no present, there's no future. What it presents there are movements of the past that needs to be seen, that represent the essential for the client. So sometimes, I don't know, if you watch that show, Another Self in Netflix, you will see more or less how they reassemble it, and the metaphor of what happened in the field, how it takes you to a moment in the past that needs to be seen. It could be you as a child, it could be your grandmother, it could be certain exclusion, secrets, abortions, miscarriages, whatever happened that at the present moment is impacting your life with that energy that was unseen or overlooked. The idea is that they paved the way for us into unlimited potential, and also limiting beliefs, because that unconscious loyalty makes us many times repeat the destiny of some, and even belong to fields. Imagine cloud of information that we unconsciously belong: church, culture, those injunctions, mandates that we were told when we were little, what we see, what we didn't see, and that becomes our life script. Our life script. So we are like little robots repeating the destiny of those, or not allowing ourselves to do differently.
To think for ourselves sometimes, even in the self-development world that I'm very, very deep into, and I interviewed so many amazing people and went to a bazillion seminars. Sometimes people recite like mantras, and we say it and we keep saying it because it sounds so good, but is it true? And is it true for me? And is it true for me in the in at the moment, or is it some kind of a bumper sticker that I'm just falling into because some guru said it and another guru said it, and everybody just repeating like automatically? So we definitely get programmed. We get programmed just by watching TV. When we watch programs, TV is meant to reprogram us, and our school systems, our family systems. We are so programmed, and the hardest thing is to see beyond and break free. So, what did you learn about relationships and your own life and yourself, witnessing all those family constellations that you did?
Beautiful question. And I think it's every experience we get, pleasant or unpleasant, depleting or renewing, every experience we encounter is a metaphor of something that we haven't healed from our past. It's a projection. Whatever you reject, you judge, you exclude, it's also showing you something: your partner, your work, So, how is your life? How is your life right now? What are the areas of your life that you're seeking to improve? In what areas of your life you feel this stagnation or frustration? That is advising you about something that you haven't healed from your past, whether from your parents, their own interaction, their need to save them. And that's why we are into healing. All constellators are people that have to heal, are chosen. All those like you that are in this self-help.
I have totally have this savior syndrome, trying to heal. Like, I think everything that I learned in my life and everything that I teach right now is either something that I already worked on and healed, or something that I'm in the process of healing. And when I help other people with that, I heal myself.
Absolutely. So you are chosen. You are chosen by your family system. So behind every people that seek my guidance, I also see unlimited potential.
Mm,
I see people that are the strongest of their family system. The ones that carry more burden, I don't see them with pity or poor, or I see them, wow, you're so strong.
mm,
And all those wounds also came together with unlimited potential. And we all wanted to save our parents, all that are in this um, realm of self-help or helping others. We were some that at some point wanted to save our parents without much success,
mm,
or those that left life with discomfort, desires of revenge, envy. It's on us probably to give that look to the past and to restore that, create that new unity of love. I always like to say, resume that Constellations is this philosophy that helps us restore the love that once was broken or not possible.
that's beautiful.
So they can live with that energy. And when you see those dead people that we replace and that we're loyal and entangled with, when you say, now I choose life, they can close their eyes.
Mm.
So the wish for this death is for the living to live.
That's beautiful. So I love that story about um, the mom and the kid and how he wanted to transition, but then finally he organized something in the field, and he didn't feel like, I guess, being a man. He's such a burden, and he was able to step into his masculine, and even to the extent of falling in love with a woman. That's extraordinary. What other amazing stories did you have? You mentioned fertility, you mentioned addiction, you mentioned autism.
People seeking love, partnership, people, women seeking true love. And suddenly they acknowledge that they were seeing men through the eyes of some women that suffer. It's so beautiful to unentangle yourself from that unconscious rejection that women have felt towards men a long evolution. And if you represent a couple from the first century, for example, you see how women start despising men because they left to go to war, to hunt, or whatever, and they never came back. And women just were used as a survival animal, let's say, to nurture, to give birth, to give birth, to give birth. So they start dying at giving birth. So that developed this, and I'm talking about the evolution of these men women relationship, masculine and feminine, developing this unconscious rejection. Men abandon, men are not good, men this. and men fearing the women. So you see, when all these women comes, I'm seeking love, I'm seeking a companionship, the good love. I acknowledge and I see in these movements that respecting the man is a recent task in humanity. It's a recent task in humanity. So we we have been many years in life living in this program of abandonment, resentment, rejection, doubt, and then now is seeking a new, all these angry feminist movements in evolution are necessary, because nowadays we can talk about a different feminist. Everyone has their role in evolution and the way they have served each other. So I've seen many miracles when women are able to say, now I can see, I can love, and I can respect.
I love that.
Amen.
Amen. Because you can be a powerful woman and a woman. You don't have to be like an imitation for a man to be strong in the world. And you can be successful and still be very much in your divine feminine and fully integrated without the need to fight. But you're right. Like we've been programmed, yeah, you hit like a girl, so don't be like a girl, but then don't be like a boy. It's very like we had so many confusing messages and still have that are being thrown to to us. So it's really beautiful because it's all energetically at the end of the day. All those programming our beliefs, and they're part of our subconscious. And like you said, when you untangle them, you are free to be your core essence and to claim your power and to see the world through your own eyes instead of seeing the world through someone else in the past that have suffered, whether it is your grandma or your mom or your dad, and really reclaim your true power and your true light, right?
Absolutely. And the suffering comes from feeling ourselves separated.
Mm,
Separated. So no one is separated. No one is separated from the source. We tend to believe that we are separated. And that's our basal first wound, the wound of separation.
mm,
So that reinclusion is what many of us need. Uh, and it only takes one. Again, it takes one descendant to see the past, to realize that everything was in the name of love
yeah.
and out of love.
How do you protect yourself when you're around all those energies? Or do you even feel the need to protect yourself? Because you're probably dealing with some terrible traumas and terrible stories and people like breaking down and crying. And I've never been to one of your sessions. I've never been to a family constellation, but I could imagine that that's a big field to hold. That's a big energy to hold. How do you do that?
Actually, it's beautiful when you center the representatives and the participants, and they can express, even if deep pain, they can express it. I feel a deep pain,
Mm,
so much deep and darkness, but they can express it from that center.
mm,
Bert Hellinger, the German psychotherapist that integrated the family constellation, he also talked a lot about the orders of help. That is also something that I teach my students for facilitators. The right way to help.
mm,
There's orders to help. Surrender to the destiny to the other. Help is from adult to adult. That need of saving the other probably is the need to save yourself. So there's certain orders also that are helpful when you go with a client.
mm,
Is the client seeking in you a parent? Are you serving to be the parent of that client? Or you're working for the parents, respecting its parents?
mm.
So when you bow to the client's parent, immediately that client opens up to you and you feel relaxed because you are in your place of helper.
Right.
what happened? So many people go to therapy for 10 years, and what they discover is that they have wasted their life. They have wasted their life.
Yeah, they go back and just talk forever about the same pain.
Codependent.
Yeah, they just speak again and again. They open the wound. They go weekly and just like dig into their wound a little bit more. And therapy has its place for a while, but if somebody's going to therapy for 10 years, there's something wrong here. Nobody should be going to therapy for 10 years. That's a lot. Like, because now I think that the world is being exploded with so many modalities from like this family constellation to hypnotherapy to psychedelics. There's so many ways to make it way shorter, all this pain. But if you like, attention goes where your focus energy goes where your focus goes, where your attention goes, right? And so if you focus on the pain, 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 then always surface level, never touching the subconscious, nothing is ever going to change. And then you will be just like feeling good about yourself for going in and doing your weekly therapy, but not really actually getting better. So you gotta break something energetically. You gotta like disentangle something energetically, disentangle something in your belief system, your subconscious mind, your attachments, and then you're going to be free by claiming your power as an independent, sovereign human being that has a lot of light and power inside. Claiming your power and not delegating your power to somebody who's sitting across from you, just listening to you for 10 years. It's good, like, um, there was a short time in my life where I needed therapy. I went for 2 months. It was great. It was helpful. I can't imagine myself going for 10 years. I would never evolved.
I have some of those clients, and they become so codependent that they discover that they just were seeking the parent. So when you're able to just take from your parents wherever it was given, whatever it was given, more, much, or little, who knows if the little we receive becomes much, or the much we receive becomes very little. So many people that comes, rejecting the parents. I didn't receive this. My mom didn't love me enough. My mom didn't see me. My mom. And it's like, probably that's the portal for your greatness. That wound is where going to help you to serve later the collective. So when you're able to feel that, what you receive and say, Mom, even if you couldn't see me, I take life from you, and I truly grateful for the life you gave me. And now I do something great with it. That reinclusion of your mother, that you taking back your full place of force as that child of that couple, it's it's everything. It's everything that we need to elevate our energy, to transform into resilience. This inclusion is information that reaches everyone. Because if you reject your mother, imagine systemically, no? You reject your mother, you didn't do enough, you didn't do good. What are you doing right there? You're parenting your mother. And if you're parenting your mother, it means that your grandmother didn't do a good job. So you're excluding your grandmother and say, I can do better than you, telling my mom how she should do with me and how she didn't do good. So I'm a better mother than her. I am a better mother than you, grandmother. So in that exclusion, there's a disorder that creates an energy of entropy. Entropy is the struggle, the no, the fight, that reaches a peak of energy that then seek compensation in your life. How it compensate? With your life partnership, with your projects, with your money. So all those are feminine energies. So that it will seek some compensation until you could say, Grandma, you did the best you could with my mother. So I give you back your place. You know how to be her mother better than myself. Mother, you are my mother, and I take the little you gave me and I use it for something great. And that inclusion is information that reaches everyone, the energy of everyone. We know everything that's united to quantum entanglement.
Yeah, I think I finally got to like get like the tip of the iceberg and kind of like a little bit understand what this thing is all about. And this is fascinating. And I know you have to teach a class. I can talk to you for another 5 hours because I feel like, oh, it's just starting to get like
No,
even
I
juicier.
have 10 more minutes. I have 10 more minutes. The important thing for the community that listen for to this for the first time is each reconciliation you're able to do from your heart, because from the mind sometimes it's so difficult. I have many clients that have difficult parents, that they were different type of abuse, emotional, even sexual, everything. And I know it's hard, but when you do it from here, the heart possesses its unique capabilities. I also am a heart math coach and mentor, and I do everything through the heart. So each reconciliation you do through your heart creates a new quantum leap in each family system. Because those promises that are unconscious that we made in our early childhood to our elders, to not become more successful than them, not become more loved than them, not become more seen than them. Those promises that we unconsciously made are poison, poison for the whole. So that's the idea, that the adult, when we center ourselves in the adult never promises. The adult takes what it is. It takes responsibility. So they all need that we enjoy life and that we live fully. And they need our love and our respect for their tragedies and their struggles not to be repeated.
Yeah. It's so multi-layered.
It resumes.
It's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. Thank you so much. What are your three top tips to living a stellar life?
Living the forces of love, belonging, belonging. Everything belongs. Everything you judge ourselves, you judge outside. I'm sorry, you judge outside, or you point or irritates you, is telling you about yourself more than you think. So see yourself reflected. Like Kelly Brogan says, wear your billion crown. See yourself as a perpetrator, as someone that have caused harm, and you'll grow from that. Seeing yourself as the victim 100% of the time will not let you grow. And being the adult, saying yes to the past and yes to what it is because it's serving your individual destiny. That will be the philosophy that I embrace in my own life, and it truly changed my own life.
Beautiful. And where can people find you or even like take courses with you, get certified by you?
Absolutely. Yes, my next facilitators training program is starting September 3rd. Right now, until July 30th, there's a early bird. The groups are very reduced, very intimate. We have live sessions. It's 100% online. We have it every week for 5 months, and it's beautiful and transformative. It's so powerful. And my group workshops are every other Saturday in person in Miami, in Edgewater. And I also have a beautiful community of women that are around the world that we meet on Thursdays online, and we talk about different topics. We constellate, we talk about the challenges in contemporary life, let's say motherhood, what irritate us, whatever is there for, and we support. We're a beautiful community of women healing together in community, and we meet on Thursdays. That is called Soulful Awakening Tribe, and in my website, Quanta Systemic Academy, you can find more information. I would love you to join us in one of the in-person sections since you're in Florida. Next one is July 27th. So I hope to see you there or every other Saturday at 11 a.m. If you can attend, please be my guest. I would love you to come.
Amerly, thank you so much. This was such an eye opener and just a beautiful, deep conversation. I really enjoyed it. I'm sure everybody that listened enjoyed it just as much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you, listeners. Remember,
All the best for you.
thank you. And thank you, listeners. Remember to live in the force of love and know that you belong. Remember that everything external is just a reflection of you. And say yes to what is and have a stellar life. This is Orion. Till next time.